Hey everyone! I went thrifting and I found a lot of great things for my sewing and other crafting. So if you would like to see what deals I got to get creative and do some slow stitching too, then stick around. Hey, something happened with the original audio, so you're getting a voiceover after the fact. Um, I went thrifting and I found a lot of great goodies for getting my sewing on, slow stitching projects, etc. And I'm sharing that with you. So here I bought stuff that was in a bag. It was a really good deal. I got a big discount, so I did not pay the prices that you see there. But there was this name tag kit pen, and there were some iron-ons in the bag. A package of sewing needles. These are great to find. You have so many different sizes in there. Really great for slow stitching. Right away there, just the needle pack, the price of the bag was worth it for just the needles. These packages of embroidery floss, I've come across these a few times. I think they're really neat. They're a good way to keep the embroidery floss from getting tangled. Um, they're Madeira, and the thread is very nice actually. So I'm pretty happy whenever I find these in one of those grab bags. This is some seam binding, and it's the older version of seam binding. You could tell by the discoloration of the cardboard. I'll even reuse the cardboard. Okay, this is some gift wrapping ribbon. Eh, oh, snaps. Oh, gosh. These darn things are not cheap in the stores now, so if I can get them in a grab bag, yes, please. This one is some fusible seam binding, which is not something I come across often, but it's really handy if I have a quick repair job to do or I want to make a quick project. Uh, I, it's fusible. I just use an iron. No sewing required. Elastic. Seems that every sewing grab bag I get either has snaps or elastics. Now this little box intrigued me. It's a little metal box. There's something in it, and we'll open it up in a while and see what there is. A crochet hook. Um, oh, that is a tracing wheel for pattern making or for tracing a pattern onto fabric. More elastic. Yeah, I tell you, these grab bags, these mixed bags at thrift stores of sewing items are such an economical way to build up your stash of sewing and crafting things. Oh, there was a nail clipper. Okay. Well, nail clippers can be used to clip thread. Nothing wrong with that. But I'll be passing on that one. So, needle threader, very practical. Use a lot of those. And obviously, there's a bunch of embroidery flosses here that I will gladly use in some projects. Um, and there's like other bits there that don't belong that I'm taking off. Oh, so yeah, this is what I'm doing. Those other bits of threads, like little, I'm putting them in that jar. That is my orc jar. I think that's what. it's being called now, and other random threads. The ones that are not threads, like there's pieces of lint or whatever that was in the garbage, but the pieces of a thread and fiber that are usable go in my little jar, and I will reuse those on some project. So here I have some really nice embroidery floss already on the cards. I love it. I love it. They're already on the card. Then these will just go into my embroidery floss boxes. And do I see a Zellers price tag there? Yeah, yeah, good old Zellers. That's where the previous owner of these probably purchased them. Look at that. They were 79 cents. Wow. Can't get that price anymore. So, oh, I'm showing you I have a divided tray nearby so I can put all my goodies in there. And there, oh, yeah. Well, what else do I have to say? Embroidery floss, sewing thread, lots of cool stuff. Uh, yeah. This is the part where I should have some music playing because it's more of ASMR than anything else. Okay, so let's see what's in this little mystery box. It's a fun little box. And ta-da! It's not money. There's a bunch of snaps in here and eyelets, a few buttons, but it's all stuff that I can use in whatever making I make. Oh, a few pins, maybe. So yeah, it's kind of fun to get these little boxes because you never know what little treasures you'll find. And I do repurpose that little box to store other things later. But I'm going to put all the eyelets with my eyelets and buttons with buttons, etc. in my stash. Okay, next up, we have a lovely bag of thread. These are always a gamble, um, but they're so much fun. So I know I can't pass them up. I'm able to, I've been able to build my thread stash because of these bags. And I've discovered, threads and colors that I were are new to me, basically. So I like these little. To me, these are treasure bags. I never know what I'll get from them, and I've been fairly lucky. The majority of the time, the thread is very good, so I can't complain. And if I'm not going to use the thread from these thrifted bags in sewing of garments, I'll I definitely use it in crafting and slow stitching, so or basting. A lot of these threads, especially the ones that are of lower quality or unknown origin, are great for basting projects. So uh, I don't overlook these bags of thread. And this next bag, it's kind of a mix. There's some great uh, embroidery thread, machine embroidery thread in this gold by DMC. It's very nice quality. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that because that spool alone was probably worth the price of the whole bag. Um, yeah, and there's a range of that material, that like belting, elastics, buttons that came from, threads and buttons that came from finished articles of clothing that, they're sold with a spare piece of thread and button in case you lose one. And most people just don't repair their clothes, so they just toss these little bags to the side. And I picked them up in the thrift store. I get a lot of buttons this way. Well, they came in this bag, so it's not like I went looking for it. But yeah, I don't, pass these up either. They're buttons. So I will take them out of all the little bags and add them to my button stash. And the threads I add to my little jar, my orc jar. And this is a fun little envelope. Okay, it gives me an idea that maybe I can make my own little envelope like that for a junk journal. So, and sometimes there's extra findings like closures and snaps that are provided with your garment. So, yep, there's some pretty buttons. So, yeah, like I said, the envelopes are worth keeping too for junk journaling. So yeah, it's just a random bag of goodies, and I'm just gonna put them in this little tray. And while I'll be watching a video, I will be emptying the little bags. A package of safety pins. Uh, it's an old package, but they're brand new. Snaps. The packaging alone is worth it for a junk journal. A package of pins. Use those a lot. Oh, we got little styrofoam balls. Yeah, this is my poor attempt at juggling. A couple sewing machine needles. Sewing machine needles like that are universal. They'll fit in most sewing machines. Here's some more little spools of thread, a few bobbins. I can use that type of bobbin in one of my machines because I have several different. I have I have several sewing machines, people. Okay. Now these are strips. Well, I don't remember what exactly the right name that they're called, but these are sewn usually onto panels of fabric to make curtains, and those strings are pulled so it can make pleats. Yeah, that's what they're for. So there's some random threads, some ribbons, all these things I'll use to make flowers, to make other trims, to add to projects. That's some flat binding there, flat seam binding. Here's some more of that upholstery trim used in curtain making. And I grab those whenever I see them so I can repair my own curtains if I need to. Oh, this bag was a nice find. These are rolls of punch needle. They're like crewel thread. but they were sold for punch needling. They're a little older, and they're great for my punch needle, and they fit in the We Are Memory Keepers handle for punch needling too, so which I have. So I was pretty happy to find that bag. And there were other, there was some decorative metallic thread in there by Krynick, and some, I believe, a sewing thread. Here's this bag, a random mix again. I love these bags. I'm sorry, I just do. There was some crochet cotton there, some perle, some zippers. This one was obviously in something before. That's why I'm removing all those little loose random threads. But the zipper is an excellent quality. It can be reused on something else. So, and I will find a way to reuse this zipper at some point. I have a good collection of zippers, and they're very handy to repair clothing, bags, to make new items, so I keep them. Oh, those are, what do you call them? Bra extenders. And this, look at that. It's a little sewing kit. I had no idea. Isn't that interesting? I thought this was quite the find. I had no idea what this little metal case was, but that was neat. Oh, and there's always some random odd things in these bags of sewing. I don't know why, but these are stockings. They're stockings. What is that doing in the bag of sewing items? Who knows? Here's another bag of some, of course, sewing items. There is a whole kit. I think this is a kit that was sold at the dollar store at one point. And this old zipper with the original packaging. I love that. Some random thread, not thread, elastic. And I think that's all there was. Yeah. But yeah, different types of elastic for different types of garments sewing. So I'm using some random little pieces of thread that I have there in my jar to tie the elastics into bundles. So, they're corralled and behave nicely. And I'm going to store them with my other elastics. In this bag, here again, a hair accessory. What is that doing in that bag? I don't know who makes these bags at the thrift store. Oh, measuring tape. That's a sewing item. And there's some blanket seam binding there. That cream stuff. That's the edging to put around blankets, and the pink stuff as well. So, and that is fun to run a basting thread through and make like flowers. A big spool of elastic. Oh, here's some cording that my cat was modeling. And what do we have in this bag? Some more treasures maybe, or junk? A little bit of junk maybe, but a lot of treasures. Oh, that is the tape that you can write on and adhere to clothing for making like name tags. So, and you just use an iron to glue that to fabric. But I can use that in junk journaling for making little labels too, so it will get used. So many random things in here, and you just have to think outside the box. Or outside the cat box. Obviously, my cat has, oh, well, yes, my cat loves to play with he just wants to play with what I have here. That's all he wants, really. Nothing more. Here I'm just taking a random scrap of paper to um, make like a closure to keep this roll from unraveling. So that's what I'm going to take. Just taking a parking ticket stub there, receipt. Cutting a strip. Well, I'm trying to keep the roll from unraveling with my other hand. And of course, yeah, my cat has to supervise everything. Oh yeah, now you get to look at my big cat's big head. There we go. So yeah, so that's another little tip for you. Um, Use scraps of paper or other ribbon to keep your rolls of trim from unraveling and creating a big knotted mess in your drawers. So I often find these used packages of seam binding, and I love it when they have the original packaging on them too. Here's some tacks, some decorative tacks. They're really pretty. They have this nice design on the top of them. An old measuring tape and this wheelie thing. Don't worry, it's not sharp, but oh, it can be used to push something into a tight space. That's all I can say. And here are, what are these? These are some really long laces. You know what? I often take things like that random bizarre laces, and I will put them in a box and I will keep them in my garage, and we will use something like that for if we need to tie something up in the garden or we need to tie up a hose or something. That's what I'll do with that. Here's some more bias tape. Ooh, applique eyes, pins, nice pearl head pins, always practical. And I actually keep those ones here on my desk for when I need a pin. And I picked up this bag of used sewing patterns for several reasons. When I repurpose the actual sewing pattern paper in uh, collage work mixed media, I do like some of the patterns to make the project. I will not be making this one-piece leotard project thing, but how funny is that? But I do like the dolls, the stuffed animals, and this one is an embroidery pattern. It actually has the transfers in it to do the red work embroidery. It hasn't been used, so that's a nice little bonus. Is it a transfer? No, it's not a, I have to make it a transfer, I think. Oh, okay. And whenever I see an interesting doll making pattern, I snatch those up. I love making dolls, and I wasn't gonna pass this one up, so I got that. And here are some cute stuffies. Yeah, so just something I've always liked making is stuffies and dolls. Now in this next bag, not that it makes any sense, but they are craft items. There was a bag of wicks for making candles and another bag in the bag of doll heads, porcelain doll heads and doll arms. And the parts to attach arms when making stuffed animals and stuff. So, which is great because I just got those patterns. So, uh, kind of all goes together. So that was another good find. Now this bag is a mix of things. Yep, it's hard to understand who decides on what goes into these bags, really, because there are office supplies, there are craft supplies, and party supplies in the same bag, if I remember correctly. So once I managed to pull off all the staples, which seems to be taking forever for some reason, I will show you what's in there. Please bear with me. Oh my goodness. Oh, and then the cat comes along, of course, just like I need another interruption. Okay, so there's a tablecloth, a plastic tablecloth in this bag. Why? I don't know. There's a receipt book or invoice book, and it's personalized. So, but I'll be repurposing this in a junk journal. That's good. And there was this pile of dividers to be used in a binder to divide categories or subjects. And I think there were like 10 of them, and they're brand new. And if I don't end up using these as actual dividers, they're cardstock. These will be used in some paper crafting project. Absolutely, no problem. So I think that was a good find. Yeah. Oh, I think there's 9 packages. And then the last thing I have to show you, which I thought was fun, is this crafting kit to make cards. And it is stitching on paper, a em paper embroidery or embroidering on paper. So it comes with the cards, envelopes, patterns, thread, needle, a pin to make the holes, and a purse and an extra pair of scissors, which is not part of the kit, but is probably from the former owner of this kit. And one of the cards has been used with one of the patterns, but there's still a couple others that are unused. So I'll be able to make some pretty embroidered cards. It'll be a fun little project. And there's the cat inspecting everything. Of course, the cat would like to play with the thread, but that's not happening right now, kitty. And that's that for my thrifty sewing haul. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some ideas for repurposing used supplies in your own crafting. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell to be notified whenever I post new content. And until next time, stay crafty. Bye.